Today we are here at Magic Kingdom since I was thinking about checking out the Magic Kingdom Railroad. This is a ride that takes you all around Magic Kingdom, and I thought I would have a great day here at the park. So let's go ahead and have a great day adventure. Now, right here we have the official train station as soon as we're heading in. Of course, there's also the flower bed in front. We have the Magic Kingdom sign. We have the clock and the American flag. And we also have the railroad office, which up there says, "Keeping Dreams on Track, Walter E. Disney, Chief Engineer," which is a Easter egg to Walt Disney himself. We are now inside Main Street USA, and for our first station, we're actually going to be heading on to the Main Street station first. We have the main train station, as there's the clock, some pins of some famous trains like Santa Fe. There's also a watch along with, I think, some iron as well. There's also some newspapers and advertisements, like for example the conventions at North Pacific Coast in California, and also some special tours. We can see some ads right here. We can see some schedules, a book of what the train is supposed to look like, and so much more, along with some locks and keys down here. We can also see a time book up there from 1929. We can also see a picture of Walt Disney himself. And then we can also see a board that goes into detail on Walt Disney. Old number 1 Walter E. Disney is known as a 10-wheeler. It has 4 wheels at the front of the engine, 6 in the middle, and none at the rear. Built by the Baldwin Locomotive Works of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in 1925. Locomotive that later became the Walter E. Disney worked as number 274 on the United Railways of Yucatan, Mexico. Years later, Imagineer Roger Broggie went searching for existing narrow gauge steam engines that could be converted to the exacting standards required for a Disney theme park attraction. In 1969, he found what he was looking for in a railway equipment boneyard in Merida, Mexico. He shipped the engine to Florida, where it was reworked, refurbished, and rechristened with a new name and number, Walter E. Disney number 1. Along the way, we can see a picture of Philadelphia's Great North and Lake route. And then we can also see a picture of map of the Marietta and Pittsburgh Railroad and its connections, map of the Pittsburgh, Fort Wayne, Chicago, Cleveland and Pittsburgh, Grand Rapids, Indiana and Pennsylvania railroads. The general map of the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad and its connections. And then we can also see a picture of what looks like the Lily Bell. The Lily Bell is a Mogul 260, which means has 2 wheels on the front of the engine, 6 in the middle, and none on the rear. It was built by the Baldwin Locomotive Works of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in 1928 and operated on the United Railways of Yucatan, Mexico as engine number 260. Imagineers Roger Broggie found the Baldwin Bunker C oil burner in the railway equipment boneyard in Merida, Mexico in 1969. He shipped a narrow gauge steam engine to Florida, where it was converted to the exacting standards required for a Disney theme park attraction. When work was finished, the engine had a new look, a new name, a new number. Lily Bell number 2. Underneath we have some suitcases and a crate. We also have a picture of Lillian Disney as well. As soon as we're heading over here, we can see a picture of Walt Disney on the railroad. We can see what looks to be some hangars. We can also see an area where you can put hats on there. We can see a drawing of a railroad, some more pictures up on there, and then we can see some more pictures down under there. And of course, there is a door with baggage claim. There's some more pictures of Walt Disney with Mickey Mouse on his own railroad, and drawing of a railroad. And then there's also a timetable right here. There's also the Pacific Railroad's map on here, which is gigantic. There's also an old picture of a train. There's pictures of trains. The 274. Now for heading in here, this is usually where you can pick up strollers, but we can see maps of the Norfolk and Cincinnati Railroad and its connections, map of the Pittsburgh, Fort Wayne, Chicago, Cleveland's Pittsburgh, Grand Rapids, and Indiana and Pennsylvania railroads. We can see Walt Disney and Pluto on a miniature railroad. Walt Disney and some people working on a miniature train. Along with some other pictures of Walt Disney on his train. A map showing the line of the New Orleans, Mobile, and Chattanooga Railroad. There's some old pictures of the railroads. There's also a bulletin right here of when the train will arrive. And then there's some more luggages. There's also a big map showing the Geneva and Hornsville Railway and its connections. Now if we head down here, we can see some other maps. And then we can also see the arriving trains, departing trains, bulletins, and then the train bulletin where it is the Walt Disney World Railroad. There's many other maps like the Chester, Iron Mountain, and Western Railroad, map of the Portland and Ogedesenburg Railroad line and connections, map showing the Texas Northeastern Railway. Many more maps showing the Brooklyn Train Railroad, the Toledo Ann Arbor Grand Trunk Railway, the Santa Fe Route, the Central Short Line throughout the United States, where it is the Union Pacific Railway. There's also some more luggages on top of here. There's also the maps forming the Lake Erie and Louisiana Railway, the Consolidated Southern Railway, and the Virginia, Tennessee, and Georgia Airline. And then nearby the exits, there is the map of the New York Central and Hudson River Railroad and its principal connections. We even have a picture of the construction of a train. We also have some collectible pennies. Let me see. So there's one of Mickey and Minnie, another one with Mickey and Minnie, along with the Main Street logo, one of Minnie and one of Mickey on a train. And let me kind of see what other pressed pennies there are. So there's multiple 2024 collectible pennies. One of Stitch with Walt Disney World 2024. There's another one with the Walt Disney World logos for 2024. One of Tinkerbell and one with Pluto. And of course, for one of these pennies, they are going to be for $1 each, but if you want all four, it'll be, of course, for $4. There's a picture of Roy O. Disney, and the Roy O. Disney is considered an American standard, which means it has 4 wheels. at the front engine, 4 in the middle, and none at the rear. 440. It is both the oldest and newest steam train in the park, built in 1916, almost a decade earlier than the Walter E. Disney and Roger E. Broggie. It was the only steam engine that did not debut at the Magic Kingdom's opening on October 1st, 1971. It was not until December of that year that it joined its 3 fellow passenger trains on the tracks of the Walt Disney World Railroad. Originally, it was built in the Baldwin Locomotive Works of Philadelphia and Pennsylvania. It worked on the United Railways of Yucatan as engine numbered 251. Imagineer Roger Broggie found it in their boneyard in Merida, Mexico in 1969. He shipped a battered steam train to Florida, where it was reworked to his exacting standards. The new train missed the Magic Kingdom's opening date by 2 months and instead made the perfect Christmas gift for the new park. Roy O. Disney, number 4. We can also see some more maps along here of the Boston and Woonsockets railroad routes, the railroad map of Dakota, Norfolk and Cincinnati Railroad, even the South Pacific Railroad Company of Missouri. And then right here we have the 3rd train, which is dedicated to Roger E. Broggie. Like its counterpart, the Walter E. Disney, the Roger E. Broggie is a 10-wheeler, has 4 wheels at the front of the engine, 6 in the middle, and none at the rear. It came out of the Baldwin Locomotive Works of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in May 1925, destined for the jungles of Mexico as engine number 275. In 1969, its namesake, Imagineer Roger E. Broggie, found it discarded and abandoned in the boneyard of a Yucatan Railroad equipment storage area. Walt Disney had personally authorized the construction of the Walt Disney World Railroad in Florida. Roger E. Broggie suggested using existing narrow-gauge steam engines that could be converted to his exact standards rather than building new trains as they had for the opening of Disneyland. When Roger found what he was looking for in Mexico, he shipped engine number 275 to Tampa, Florida. Veteran machinist George Britton took possession of the train and transformed it into the Roger E. Broggie number 3 under the direct supervision of its namesake. George then accompanied the newly refitted Roger E. Broggie to the Magic Kingdom, and for over 35 years it served as the foreman of the Walt Disney World Railroad. And we can see the diamond stack right here, along with a picture of Roger E. Broggie. And along down here we can then see small stamps of the railroad. We can then see a key and lock, some other keys, and miniature railroad trains where there is the Rocket, John Bull, Adler, Jupiter, Gladstone, T3, Flying Scotsman, E44, Class 05, Mallard, Royal Hudson, Big Boy, and Southern Pacific Daylight. Now, in order to enter a train, you can enter through the stairway right here, or you can go the other way. There is some chairs. There's a perfect view of Magic Kingdom. It looks like the Mickey's Royal Friendship Fair show is playing right now. There's also a great view of Festival of Fantasy or any other fireworks show like Happily Ever After. As honestly, if you are coming to Disney World, if you want a great fireworks spot or a great parade spot, if it's not taken up by the VIP guests, then I would recommend going to this spot. But either way, we have some more chairs that you can sit at. Inside here we can see there is some old-fashioned films like Metropolis. we can see a painting of the artist's interpretation where it shows step-by-step process involved in railroad construction. Along here we have tons and tons of seats. We also have a football area where you can play football. There's also another mutoscope where you can watch heart rate gag. And then right here we have a music box. We also have some collectibles right here where you can pick up medallions. There is a Mickey Mouse medallion, a Minnie Mouse medallion, a Walter E. Disney medallion, a Lily Bell medallion, a Roger E. Broggie medallion as well, a Donald Duck and Goofy medallions, and then we can see a Roy O. Disney medallion. And for the collector coins, 4 of them is going to be for $20. We have some more films with the cat in the bag. Then we have a portrait of President Ulysses Grant, where he had his message to the nation, as this was the driving of the last spike linking east and west telegraph wires were buzzing around the nation with the news of the great accomplishment, as he spoke about the railroads right here. And then for the last part, we have the Wonders of the World. This is another kaleidoscope. When it comes to the railroad, there is a train parting every 7 minutes. However, when there's a parade, there's a parade hold for around 10 minutes or so. So I'll definitely plan around, since if there is a parade hold, you'll be waiting a long time. So it's probably better just to experience parade. Out here though, we have the train. Looks like this is the Roger E. Broggie. So let's go ahead and board the train.
Welcome aboard, folks. We're beginning a grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom, with stops along the way in Frontierland and Fantasyland. Sit tight and keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs well inside the train. We're currently departing Main Street Station. And if you're missing those friendly faces already, not to worry. On this train, it's never goodbye. It's always see you real soon. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias. Friends, I'm so delighted you've joined us today. There's nothing I enjoy more than showing folks around this Magic Kingdom.
Just a friendly reminder, folks, little ones must be fully seated throughout the trip, and there is no eating or drinking while on board the train.
Long ago, that I was just a young fella on Main Street, with a balloon in my hand and a wish in my heart that someday I'd be the conductor of this train. And wouldn't you know it, with a bit of gumption and a dash of magic, here I am. So believe it when I say that around here, anything is possible. See what I mean? Hope you packed a compass, because that, folks, is the sound of adventure. Adventureland, I should say. Whether navigating wild jungle rivers, swashbuckling with jolly buccaneers, or even just scaling a towering treehouse, there's always plenty to explore here in Adventureland. Now, if you're more the rootin' tootin' type, then partner, saddle up, cause this here's Frontierland. Home to cowpokes, campfires, and country bears, this outpost is chock full of tall tales and an even taller mountain. We call it Big Thunder. Catch a ride on its runaway trains and you'll see why. On a more musical note, just ahead I heard some new critters are moving in and looking to make a splash. Take a listen. We're almost there. We've reached Frontierland Station, everyone, so sit tight and hold those horses until we've come to a complete stop. If you're disembarking, please carry your strollers all the way off the platform before unfolding. That'll help make room for any new buckaroos. Watch your step now. This is Frontierland Station.
Howdy, partners. As we approach the station, please remain seated until the train comes to a full and complete stop and we say all clear. Once again, please stay in your seats until our engine comes to a full and complete stop. Remain in your seats, please. Our train is still in motion. Please stay inside the train. You are now all clear to disembark the train. Welcome to Frontierland Station. Our one and only way out is towards the front of the platform. We do not have a way out the back of the platform. Our one and only way out is towards the front of the platform next to the Fire Marshal Barrel. Straight ahead.
As we're exiting, there is several suitcases and crates. But we're gonna go ahead and take the exits right here. As soon as we're exiting though, there's also a Fire Marshal Barrel along with another crates. As we're leaving, there is also some wanted posters of some people. For example, there's one of Quantrill, Dead or Alive, $1,000 reward. There is another wanted Dead or Alive picture of Jesse James and Frank James, with one of the awards being for $15,000, although Alive is, crossed out. And then as we're leaving, there's also some other wanted pictures. Like, for example, there is one of Butch Cassidy where the reward is going to be for $5,000. And then along here, there's another one poster, both for Sam Bass and John Wesley Hardin. There's another one for the younger trio, for both Jim, Cole, and Bob. And there's one for Quantrill. And then I think that's going to be it with all of the wanted posters. There's also some crates for lanterns, soap, hardware, horseshoes, whiskey, flintlock, and more. And of course, as we head over here, right now train station is on the left, so I don't know if we're going to be heading inside the actual station area, because right now it's under construction. So I think we're unfortunately going to have to skip that area. But either way, there's also the entrance area, and we can see part of Tiana's Bayou Adventure with some logs going up. But for right now, it's only a matter of time for train arrives.
Howdy, folks. If you're just joining us, a hearty welcome aboard. We're heading for our next stop, Fantasyland, before carrying on to Main Street, USA. Everybody stay seated and keep your hands and arms, feet and legs safely inside the train. And as always, keep an eye on your little ones.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
Those of you
For your safety, please keep all hands, arms, feet, and legs completely inside the train at all times while the train is in motion. Thank you.
think a bit wilder, Big Thunder Mountain is the place. Because there, the trains have a mind of their own. journey. Lush wilderness, calm waters, and untamed beauty. Folks, we're in nature's wonderland. Isn't it something? Just think of the extraordinary things to see and do in these woods. Hiking trails, bird calls, fireflies, and starry nights. Setting out for adventure at sunrise and telling the tale around a campfire that night. Considering how wonderful things are out here, I'm fortunate that some of my closest friends call it home. That village is a truly special place. Folks, we're just about out of the woods and into the forest. The enchanted forest of Fantasyland, where magic... Listen. Hear that?
There it is! On that big metal snake!
Oh, Peter, that's not a snake. It's a train.
Train, huh? Well, I think it's finally time I trained my shadow to stay put! Come here! Hey! Get back here, Shadow! Shadow!
Oh, Tinkerbell, we really must find some stronger thread.
Told you it's enchanted, and not just the forest. From the tips of castle spires to the sands under the sea, magic and happily ever afters await around every corner in Fantasyland. Friends, travelers, children of all ages, we're coming down the dragon Fantasyland Storybook Circus. This is the place to soar with Dumbo or join Goofy. This station is also your gateway to the rest of Fantasyland and Tomorrowland. Now, please wait until the train has come to a complete stop. Gather your juggling pins, unicycles, and other belongings, and carry your strollers away from the platform before unfolding them. That way we can start loading up for the next leg of our trip. For those disembarking, please watch your step and thanks for traveling with us. I hope you join us again real soon. If you're staying aboard, our next stop is Main Street Station.
As we approach Fantasyland Station, please remain fully seated and completely inside the train until the train comes to a full and complete stop. You hear a single whistle and the words all clear. Until you've heard those things, remain fully seated and completely inside the train. I will let you know when it is safe to disembark. Wait for it. That is the all clear. It is now safe for you to disembark. Please gather all your belongings. Watch your hand step.
Right now we are at Fantasyland Station. This is located in New Fantasyland. We have some banners for Dumbo, Storybook Circus, and see some posters for Dumbo, Flying Elephant. There's a poster for Barnstormer and another poster for Casey Jr. That being said though, let's go ahead and hop on a train once again.
Looks like we're on our way, and I'm so glad to have you with us. The next leg of our journey takes us to Main Street, USA. We'll head for Frontierland after that. Stay seated and keep your hands and arms, feet and legs inside the train at all times. Oh, and please keep an eye on your children.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
Next up is a place that's always ahead of the curve. And not just because we're on a straightaway. Our metropolis of mechanical marvels, Tomorrowland. I love this railroad about as much as a songbird loves the moon. And I still want
locomotive maintaining trajectory. Intervention not required. Users, please proceed to Tron Light Cycle run for upload. Once digitized, you may board your light cycle and join the games. Fair warning, users. Competition is fierce and fast. Stick together. It's your only hope for victory.
Not some stuff. And that's the secret that makes intergalactic travel possible. So simple once you hear it, right? Yes, sirree, in this place of boundless optimism, the possibilities are endless. You might say the sky's the limit, but even that is no obstacle in Tomorrowland. Our trip around the Magic Kingdom is almost complete. I can't thank you enough for spending part of your day with me. And I hope you've enjoyed your journey as much as I've appreciated being a part of it. We're now approaching our most charming destination, Main Street, USA. A place where the only thing sweeter than the townsfolk is the treats. After our stop, we'll be heading for Frontierland, followed by a visit to Fantasyland. Until our train comes to a complete stop. Then pick up your belongings and carefully disembark. If you have strollers to unfold, please take them all the way beyond the platform so new passengers can safely hop aboard. It'd be mighty kind of you. And while we're being neighborly, what say we give our fellow travelers a friendly wave hello? This is Main Street Station after all. Welcome to Main Street, USA.
You hear a single whistle and the word is all clear. Until you've heard those things, remain fully seated and completely inside the train. I will let you know when it is safe to disembark.
As soon as we exit, there is a bunch of luggage and crates. But as soon as we exit, we can see the pathway to exit, and we're back in Main Street, USA. And that's going to be it for today here at the Magic Kingdom. I had a lot of fun going around the railroad, checking out all the things you wouldn't normally notice during the... And that is going to be it for today here at the Walt Disney World Railroad. I had a fun time going around the railroad, checking out some of the things not a lot of people know about, and overall, had a fun day. So that being said, let me know in the comments below, So that being said, that's going to be it. So let me know in the comments below if you ever went on the Walt Disney World Railroad. If you want to help support the channel, make sure you subscribe, like the video, and follow all my other social media accounts. As always, until next time, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.